So, get your Hard Knocks questions ready to go, okay? And if you want your Hard Knocks questions on the show, use hashtag Raiders to get them on the show. I normally do hashtag Raiders. Now, I will only answer questions around Hard Knocks. So if you want to talk about Hard Knocks, use hashtag Raiders. You got it? Cool. Because the Raiders, they're going to be on Hard Knocks this year. And when I found out, I flipped the desk, I went streaking through the quad, and I had a great freaking time. The first episode airs on August 6th at 10 p.m. When that trailer dropped last Friday, I don't know if you guys saw it. Yo, I got chills. I can't wait for Hard Knocks to come out. It is going to be, I think, the best season of Hard Knocks ever. When you talk about all the players that the Raiders have, all the drama, dude, Hard Knocks is going to be lit AF. So, today's show, all around Hard Knocks. We're doing a Hard Knocks mailbag. So, to get your questions on the show, use hashtag Raiders to get your Hard Knocks questions. So, if you ask me something about Antonio Brown, if you ask me something about Derek Carr, Richie Incognito, Jon Gruden, Mike Mayock, I'm going to talk about it in the context of Hard Knocks. So, this first one's coming in from Jeff Rogers again, of course. Hashtag Raiders, who will have the first fight on Hard Knocks? I'm going to say first fight on Hard Knocks. I don't think it's going to be Vontaze Burfict. I don't think it's going to be Richie Incognito. I'm going to say it's going to be one of the wide receivers and one of the cornerbacks fighting for a roster spot. So, let's go with Ryan Grant. How about Ryan Grant? Sleeper pick. Jeff Rogers, good question. Who do you guys think first fight on Hard Knocks? Somebody says Mad Max. Okay, I'm about it. Somebody also said my mother. I don't think she's going to be on Hard Knocks. Let's go to Bob Ellis. Do you believe coaches have the final say on Hard Knocks content? I do not believe so. I know today for a fact Hard Knocks followed Antonio Brown around like an absolute shadow. I also wonder if the first episode of Hard Knocks is going to be with Chris Warren getting cut. Like, if Hard Knocks is actually doing the right thing, they'll know how much talk was around Chris Warren this entire offseason, and I actually think they'd be smart to put him on the show getting cut. Like, I actually think I would like to see how that conversation went. I think that'd be really interesting. Also, if you guys want me to do Hard Knocks watch parties, if you remember last year, if you were a loyal follower here at Chat Sports, you'll know that we did watch parties where it's me sitting there drinking beer, talking to you guys, having a good time, and I'll be watching Hard Knocks. And if you want to watch it with me, make sure you guys subscribe, youtube.com/Raiders Report. Cali King, what you got for me, homeboy? Will Raiders Hard Knocks distract the Raiders? I don't know if it's going to distract them. I think the only way it's going to distract them is if they let it distract them, right? Like, I feel like if you're an NFL player, you should be able to deal with almost any outside distractions and be able to keep it on the field. Like, also, there's a part of me that kind of likes the fact that these players are going to be surrounded by Hard Knocks. One of the reasons is you're going to Las Vegas next year. You want to talk about distractions? You want to talk about Vegas-worthy stories? You go to Vegas, and if I had as much money as some of these NFL players do, and I'm in Vegas, guys, I would kind of probably put my face in places that they shouldn't be, and hopefully I wouldn't get pink eye. But like, that's just part of it. Like, you need to be able to not get caught up in off-field distractions. I'm hoping that the Raiders have fun with the Hard Knocks. I think that's ultimately how it's going to be like the most productive and the most entertaining. So, do I think it's going to distract them? I'm getting off track. No, I don't think it's going to distract them. Julius Smith, what you got for me? Will the Raiders bring back Marquette King for Hard Knocks? I am actually interested to see the whole Marquette King thing. I would want the Raiders to bring him back. Like, I understand him and Gruden had a little bit of a fallout, but I still think he's a better punter than Johnny Townsend. I do. I also have been hearing a lot of things about AJ in training camp, but I would still much rather have Marquette King as my punter, who, again, would be a very entertaining person on Hard Knocks. Julius, it's a good question. Let's go to Big Boss Reezy. Big Boss Reezy. Are you a loyal subscriber? You know what I'm going to say? Get a picture. Do you think Carr will show he is a good leader when the show is aired? I do. I don't really think Derek Carr has ever showed that he's a bad leader, to be honest with you. Like, I think just because you don't have a great statistical season, that doesn't make you a bad leader. If there is one thing that Derek, I think, has always done, is he's kept his nose clean, he's been great with the fans, and he's always kind of showed that he wants to be a Raider. Like, he showed up to training camp early, when he didn't have to. He's continually, like, tweeted out that he wants to have fun with Hard Knocks. Like, I think Derek is going to have a whole bunch of fun with Hard Knocks, and he should. Every player should have a whole bunch of fun, and yeah, I'm hoping that he shows there's a reason why he wears that C on his chest. Now, I don't have a C on my chest, but I do have these awesome shirts thanks to Raider Nation Store. So, if you guys like the shirts that I wear, go to www.RaiderNationStore.net, okay? RaiderNationStore.net, they have hooked me up with all the shirts that I've worn throughout July and all the shirts that I'm going to wear in August. And even though I don't look like that might be Samoa Raider, I'm not quite sure. Even though I don't look as good as that guy does in the shirt, you guys are going to look awesome in these shirts. They're super comfortable. And if you want a whole bunch of shirts, you need to DM me the word swag. So what I can do, for $50, okay, so keep that in mind. For $50, I can get you 3 shirts, a flag, and a pop socket. So 3 shirts, a flag, and a pop socket for $50 if you DM me the word swag on Instagram at MitchellRenz365. And if you don't have IG, you can either create one, but it's also my Twitter handle, at MitchellRenz365. DM me the word swag for $50 worth of Raider Nation Store gear. All right, keep the questions rolling in here. From Raider Chap, Alkir? I have no idea. Who will make a guest appearance on Hard Knocks? Mitchell Renz? Could he get a guest appearance? Because that'd be dope. I think Tim Brown will make an appearance. I think you're going to see some past Raiders players. I think Charles Woodson would be a fun player to make a guest appearance. I'm trying to think of some other. Damian Lillard, I think, would be a cool appearance. He's always tweeting about the Raiders. If you guys want to comment below who you think is going to make a guest appearance. Somebody said, why is Jon Gruden like Nathan Peterman? It's a great question. Maybe Nathan Peterman makes a guest appearance on Hard Knocks because that guy should get cut. Let's go to Derek here on the Raiders Report. Will Gruden get the most Hard Knock bleeps? Probably. And I'm going to say probably just in terms of how much time he's going to be on screen and how much time Jon Gruden does actually swear. Jon Gruden brings the fire. And I want Jon Gruden to bring the fire. It's one of the reasons why they call him Chucky. He's going to be a fun dude. I do think he's going to swear a lot. Yeah. And I'm totally okay with that. Like, I understand YouTube bleeps out cursing, but I don't want Hard Knocks to, and I want them to be as most uncensored. I want to see everything. So I do think Jon Gruden's going to have the most bleeps. Let's go to Natimus Nate. Natimus Nate? I think it means like Nostradamus. I don't know. Will Tom Cable get fired? So who thinks Tom Cable should get fired? First off, type FC in the comments section below. I would love if Tom Cable got fired on Hard Knocks. Like, I think it would be tough, and I don't think it's going to happen, simply because if you make a coaching change this late in the offseason or right before like season starts, I think it's difficult. But if there is one person who should get fired, it's Tom Cable. So Blake agrees with me. Angel agrees with me. Cortillo, Manny, Ron, John, Joshua, Edward, E. Horton, you guys all agree that he should get fired. Like, it's a reason why we literally say FC practically on every single show here at the Raiders Report. Let's go to Black Hill Mike 89. What is that picture? Is that Darth Vader? Will Hard Knocks let the league know about the Raiders' secret weapon? Do I tell you about the Raiders' secret weapon? I already talked about the Raiders' secret weapon earlier on today's show. Do you guys know who the secret weapon is? How about this? I'm not going to say who the Raiders' secret weapon is, but he's a player on offense. Jon Gruden has talked a lot about him. I think if he can show consistency and if he can show that freakish athletic ability, people are going to know who that secret weapon is. Also, if you like backyard baseball, Pablo Sanchez was the secret weapon. All right, here are the most interesting Raiders on Hard Knocks. So I did a show a little bit while back about players and coaches who I think would be the most entertaining to watch on Hard Knocks, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of a refresher. So I got Tyrell Williams at 10. Tom Cable, there's going to be a lot of drama around Tom Cable in that offensive line protecting Carr. LaMarcus Joyner, I want to see where he plays on the field, and if he's already kind of winning the matchup against Antonio Brown, I want to see how long until maybe Antonio Brown freaks out a little bit. Josh Jacobs, the player who I think is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Richie Incognito. Like, I saw Richie Incognito. I knew he was big, but Richie Incognito is a freaking mountain of a man. And considering the fact that he's that mentally unstable and that big is actually kind of concerning. Now let's get to my top 5 most interesting Raiders on Hard Knocks. Now I made this list based around Raider Nation. not based on everyone else. I don't really care about anyone else. I only care about you guys. So this is what this list is based on. Mike Mayock, first year as GM. Vontaze Burfict. I want to see if he can be that captain that I think he's going to be. Jon Gruden, Antonio Brown, Derek Carr. Like, do I really need to explain why those are the top 3 people who are most entertaining on Hard Knocks? Also, I want to give us today shout out to today's sponsor, MyBookie. Go to chatsports.com/Raiders. Use my promo code GORaiders for 100% deposit bonus. So if you put down $50, you're going to get $50 for free. Also, if you do that, I'm going to hook you up with a whole bunch of Raiders swag. So hopefully you watch till the end of today's show. Hopefully you're like, oh wow, I can get $50 free. I can bet on MyBookie, and I'm going to get free Raiders swag. Hopefully you were listening. Chatsports.com/Raiders. Shout out to MyBookie. All right, next question's coming in here from Julius Smith. Second question on today's show. Who kids will get more Hard Knocks camera time, AB or DC? I'm going to go with AB. I'm going to go with AB because I think AB is the new player, and already that viral video that they put out with Antonio Brown's kids. So if I had to put my money down on it, but I don't really like betting on kids here on the Raiders Report, but if I had to do it, I guess I'd put it on AB. Let's go to Cam's Life here. Do you think they show Renfrow getting that wide receiver 3 spot? I mean, all reports right now that Hunter Renfrow has been really productive. Like, he's looked really good, but I still think he's going to have to battle it out with Ryan Grant. And I think that wide receiver 3 spot is going to be a main focal point, on Hard Knocks. Let's go back to my man, Nate. Trevor Lawrence will visit his old Clemson teammates on Hard Knocks. That's a bold prediction. And I think the only reason why our producer put that on the show is because Alicia went to Clemson. So I feel like anytime you see the word Clemson or Clemson here in the comments, she puts it on the show. And if you guys really want to drive her nuts, type Clemson with an I. Derek... What? Clemson. Clemsin. Clemson. No? Okay. Can we give a shout out to former Raider Narian Ball? Well, I won't give you my left ball, but I'll give you a shout out on the Raiders Report. So there you go. Let's get one more question in here live on the show. One more question if we can get to it. If not, make sure you guys tweet at me. You know what? Let's just do that. Make sure you guys tweet at me your questions. There's a lot of questions on today's show. Make sure you guys tweet at me at MitchellRenz365 if I missed your question. I will do my best to get it back or to answer you guys. I get a lot of questions that come in. So make sure you guys tweet me your questions if I missed them on today's show. Use hashtag Raiders at MitchellRenz365. Raider Nation, I love you. I'll be back next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.